everybody, welcome to another episode of What's New with Nadine, and this is part 2 of my intermittent fasting video. Why am I having a part 2? Because who would have thought that by uploading that intermittent fasting video that I would have gotten the response that I have gotten. I have gotten direct messages, comments, phone calls, texts, short of emails, or someone knocking on the door of my house here. It has generated the most curiosity. I'm so excited. I love that. I love the enthusiasm. I love the curiosity, the questions. I love that everyone's engaged on the video and wanting to know more. Like I said in the original video, I'm not an expert. Let me preface with that, nor do I have any background in nutrition or anything. So I don't want to appear as though I have a professional expertise or background. This is just my life, 2.25, almost 2.5 years in on intermittent fasting. For those of you who did not watch the first video, this will be a little bit more fragmented because I'm going to put it in a question and answer format. I recommend you watch that video first. And so just the quick context, I'm in my mid-50s. I was struggling with weight gain, purging, dieting, that cyclical lifestyle that I no longer wanted to suffer through. And when you watch the TV or read any magazines or you do any Google research, doctors, experts, everyone will tell you, ladies, that you can't lose weight in your 50s. You start with a pouch or a pooch. You have more stress, which increases your cortisol, and that weight gets stored in your stomach. Your metabolism slows down, therefore you can't lose weight. Your estrogen levels are fluctuating. Your menstruating is dissipating. I have heard, like you have, dozens of reasons of why in our 50s, ladies, we can't lose weight. Okay, I'm here to tell you it's possible, and it's possible without a lot of well, it requires discipline, but I really don't think it requires sacrifice, because every diet that I find that is promoted, Weight Watchers, keto, no carb, low carb, Atkins, whatever diet is, there's always a restriction or an elimination. And there's calorie counting, and you have to purchase apps, and you have to go to meetings, and it requires some money and special stores and special organic products, whatever the case may be. It's a lot of work. I find intermittent fasting, I have it written down here so it'll be repetitive. I write somewhere on here that what is the most important thing about intermittent fasting, and for me, it's the simplicity. It's absolutely the simplicity. Because I eat what I want, and I don't eliminate anything. So let me start with the question and answers, and enough of my random rambling. I can ramble about shopping at consignment stores all day long without a script, but I had to write one for this because I needed to write down all the questions, and I want to stay on point. I'll do my best. Okay. Intermittent fasting, is it a diet or a lifestyle? Because everyone keeps asking me, and they preface it with, the word diet. Okay, it's not a diet. Like I just said, a diet to me just intimates restriction and elimination and stuff. So lifestyle, it's definitely a lifestyle. It's a commitment that you, excuse me, that you have to make. I've made it, and I don't ever anticipate living any other way. You can take this lifestyle anywhere. You could take it on vacation. You could take it to your mom's house. You could take it shopping. You could take this diet anywhere. You could be a guest at someone's home for a Sunday or Saturday night dinner or cocktail party. You can take this lifestyle to a holiday, to a holiday dinner or banquet. I think really it is the key to the success, is that it requires really no thinking, because once you get into the fasting and eating pattern, once you have that down, It's almost like your biological clock. Definitely, your interior clock definitely adheres to that. Once you have that down, which takes a while, you're kind of good to go. So you don't need an app. You don't need anything or anyone telling you what you can and can't do any longer. So let me break it down a little bit more. Do I fast every day? Yes, I do. Because there are a lot of people successfully who fast like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They not only fast on alternate days, some fast like 3 consecutive days, like 3 on, 2 off. You know, there's a lot of different variations. I wasn't interested in any of that. I need to simplify it. So for me, it's every day. But I am a quite disciplined person if I put my mind to something and I want it bad enough. I'm a cold turkey kind of person. I just jumped in cold turkey. I don't necessarily recommend that. We'll get to that in another question. So do I fast every day? Yes. However, because my husband and I are very social, on Friday and Saturday nights we're usually out, and therefore my fast extends, and so does my eating window, because, you know, when you go out to a restaurant, typically you have an appetizer. By the time you're served dinner, it's later than you would eat when you were, if you were home. And so the next morning, what I do is I will attempt, not always, I will generally extend my fasting window by an hour. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, that's crazy. How do she do it? How do you do it? These are things that have developed over time. I can't stress that enough, that when I first started watching intermittent fasting videos, I was shocked when people would say they would break their fast at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I think I'd rather be dead than not eat all that time. Here I am. I do the same thing. So it's a process. It requires transitional time period. I don't suggest anybody do that, not even in the first 6 months. I think gradually over time you can increase your fasting window, which then decreases your eating window. These are things that happen over a long period of time. Now all of that is very easy for me. I don't suffer through it. I don't struggle with it. It's gotten so easy. I never would have predicted that. If I had $10 in bet, I would have bet against it, because I never really would have thought I could do this. So if I could do it, you could do it, okay? If you want to. I do like to drink a lot of wine on Friday and Saturday nights. So if I'm still having a glass of wine at 10 p.m., I'm not gonna worry about it. You know, Saturday morning, whatever, I just wait an extra half hour if I can. And there are many times I don't, but I still don't gain weight. I mean, that was what I discussed in my first video. I don't gain weight, ladies. And so my fasting method is 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours not fasting. You know, I sleep an 8-hour night. I don't always sleep well. I think that's part of maybe my hormones rearing their ugly head or something. I don't know. But I sleep late in the morning. I sleep till 7:30, 8 o'clock, which by most standards is late. And so a lot of your fasting time, if you sleep 7 or 8 hours, 6 hours, you know, that's fasting time. And then I get up, I have a coffee, black, and then I go, I clean in the house. I do my, my chores in the morning, and then I go and work out. Then I come home, then I prepare my lunch, but I don't eat it. Then I shower, do all that. So when I'm done, it's 12, 12:30, 1:45. And so my time, I've adjusted everything to work in that time period. And then we usually eat dinner early, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And so I don't eat after 7. And I know I discussed that, apologies for the repetition in this video from the first video. So my eating window is like 1 to 7. And there's no hard and fast rule. I mean, you can eat at 7:30. Nothing's going to happen. If you do that every single day, then you're not really fasting any longer. I think, you have to have some commitment of discipline. Another person had asked me, actually 2 people, what is OMAD? Because I discussed it. I will discuss it again. OMAD is the acronym for 1 meal a day. And that's an intermittent fasting lifestyle as well. I know several people that have been living OMAD lifestyles their adult life, and they just didn't know there was a name for it. I think about those people, they're fit, they're trim, they eat one meal a day. They have coffee in the morning, they go, breakfast, no breakfast or lunch, and then they eat a big hearty dinner. Interestingly, Dr. Oz had on a young man a couple months ago. You could search it on Dr. Oz, I'm sure. Actually, on his YouTube channel, you can find it. He was African American. He has a whole tribe of people that are OMADs. And interestingly, they eat their one meal late at night. That's just their lifestyle choice. They eat theirs like midnight, 11 p.m. They're younger, they're millennials. I don't know, it's a work pattern. If it's driven by a career decisions. I really don't remember what his reasons were, but he gets up in the morning, he worked out, he goes to work. He had some creative passions that he was working on. I can't remember. But anyways, he would eat his one meal late at night. And Dr. Oz prefaced the show with that he didn't endorse it, he didn't like it. He was going to be behooved if he was wrong, because he took all of these medical testing from this young man, and he predicted that he would be suffering in all of these blood lipid scores. So at the end of the show, this young man introduced other people that follow him that live the same lifestyle, who have lost, oodles amount of weight, gained stamina, increased their sleeping health, it just a plethora of changes like I have experienced. And then Dr. Oz put up on the screen the results of all their blood tests, and he had to eat his words. He said, I don't have an explanation. He said, I don't understand it. You guys are eating like hamburgers, French fries. I don't endorse that. I don't endorse a standard American diet, but they weren't, I don't necessarily think they were eating fried foods every night, but they weren't eating what I thought they would be eating, like organic or, a more plant-based diet or something. They weren't. And they were eating like 2,000 calories at that one meal. So, yielding the results they had anticipated, which was they had increased cholesterol, and then lower, after this lifestyle change, they have lower cholesterol numbers, etc., etc. You get the picture. It's interesting, and that's what OMAD is, one meal a day. I implement OMAD during the holidays or if we're on a vacation and I've overindulged, and I don't worry about that. I just think, whatever, I'm gonna have it, I'm gonna enjoy it, and then the next day I'll just eat one meal a day. That also has come easier with time. I couldn't have done that probably the first year or the first 6 months, but without it being difficult. You can do it, but it's difficult. Today I can do that no problem. I did it yesterday. I'm going to my daughter's for dinner. We had the party here Saturday night for my son. I had a lot of fun, a lot of pizza, just a lot of everything. And so yesterday I didn't eat until we got to her house, thankfully, because she made homemade macaroni. She rolled it by hand, cut it by hand, no machines. She made a bolognese sauce. She did make broccoli rabe and a whole bunch of other second and third courses. None of us got to that because we all had 2 bowls. I mean, 2 bowls of the homemade macaroni. It isn't that great. I mean, I prepared for that. I enjoyed it. I had a couple glasses of wine. I had some bread. I mean, these are things that I cherish and love. And I think if you're exercising, you wouldn't be able to enjoy that without feeling shame, or you're cheating, or you let yourself down. You've offended someone who's put together a beautiful meal. So it's another great reason that intermittent fasting fits into my life perfectly, because I don't have any guilt associated, and I didn't gain weight this morning when I got up. What do I eat? What don't I eat? That is the biggest question. So I don't eat a standard American diet, okay? And the way I eat today is really not any different than the way I ate 5 or 10 years ago. I'm not a big meat eater. I never have been. It's not for dieting. It's just a texture thing. I don't know. I just have never been interested in it. Give me a plate full of like colorful vegetables and, you know, legumes and beans. Like, you know, give me broccoli rabe and white cannellini beans on a pizza or in a bowl, like we call it Maness. Like that to me is so much more appetizing than like, you know, a piece of chicken. So I eat a lot of vegetables. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of nuts, a lot of seeds. I eat a lot of beans. I eat a lot of chickpea based like burgers, or I go to Trader Joe's and get cauliflower and gnocchi. Oh my God, if you haven't gotten that, I mean, it's absolutely delicious with some sauce or however you would like to enjoy it. I eat a lot of peanut butter. I eat a lot of plant-based food. But I also, I always say, if you invite me to your house and you make short ribs, or if you make London broil or porchetta, I mean, I'll enjoy it. I love it. I enjoy it. It's just not something that I prepare in my house all the time. And it's not something I enjoy to eat every day. I mean, I never eat a hamburger and I never eat a hot dog. I don't know. I mean, sometimes in the summer I like a couple bites of a hamburger, but it's just not appealing to me. I mean, not when you can have a portobello mushroom grilled on the grill, like 2. Roasted red peppers, some spinach or arugula, and put that between the bun. I mean, to me, that's like, you know, eggplant, slices of eggplant. I mean, that to me is, you know, far more appealing than a piece of beef, but that's a personal choice. So what I don't eat is the question I think that people are more interested. I don't eliminate anything. I don't. I really don't. I mean, there's not really, you know, anything. I mean, I eat bread. I don't eat a lot of white bread, unless my mother-in-law makes her, you know, she makes Italian bread every day. So I do eat, of course, her white bread, but I wouldn't buy white bread and stuff. And I don't eat a lot of white rice. So I think everybody wants to know what I don't eat. And there's really nothing eliminated from my diet other than a personal choice. And everybody has personal preferences and choices. I do eat a lot of lentils. I do. Love that. Someone asked me, is this keto? No, for all of those of us that are interested in health and diet and exercise, nutrition, yeah, that word is bandied about. No, this isn't keto. Okay, so I had a little malfunction there with my camera. Apologies. So what was I saying? Keto. Okay, so it's not keto. I think I've established that. And I like some keto recipes. Okay, do you have to exercise? That was another question. Everyone says, oh, well, you've had success because you exercise. I've always exercised. My husband had a heart attack when he was 35. He's in his mid-50s now. It was a long time ago. It changed our life. It's probably when we started really implementing, you know, better food choices. So I would attribute the change in our lifestyle really started then. So I've always exercised, but my exercise routine has changed exponentially since then. I work out harder, longer, more regimented. It's part of my, you know, it's the fabric of my life. I can't imagine not having that ability to do that, and I can't start my day without it. So what I want to say that's very important, and I said it a lot over the weekend, is I don't think if you do not exercise, that if you're interested in starting intermittent fasting, that you shouldn't add exercise and intermittent fasting at the same time. I think that's very important. Aside from walking, of course, if you want to add an exercise component to your life, then walk around the block, walk at your local high school, walk their football field, track field. But I wouldn't do any more than that, because I think your body can only handle one shock at a time. You know, I did reduce my exercise in the beginning because I was scared and nervous. I didn't know what to expect. It probably wasn't necessary, but that's okay. So I just recommend, if you're going to start, don't start exercising at the same time, aside from walking. Okay. Lunch, dinner, and snacks. I shot a video this morning about what I eat in a day, and I will have that uploaded either on the back of this or in a couple days. And so that'll answer a lot of your questions. How I break my fast, that was the most important question that I wanted to answer. How I break it, what time, etc. I did discuss already that in the beginning my fasting window was shorter. I used to break my fast at 11. I used to watch the clock. I used to like almost die at 10:30, like I really want my coffee. I still have days like that. I mean, they're normal. It's normal. And so over time that's extended. So I think if anybody starts this and they have great difficulty, or if you're struggling, that's normal. I mean, it took me a while to eliminate that coffee in the morning with cream when I first got up. That took a long time. I'm not going to sell it any other way than the truthful way, which is, that's probably the hardest thing about intermittent fasting, is giving up coffee and cream first thing in the morning if you have cream normally in your coffee. And so now I have it, you know, at 1 o'clock. But patience, you know, patience comes to those who wait. I don't remember the saying, but I think if you stick with it, you'll find that that comes easier. I only have the espresso in the morning when I get up, which is black, and then I have water. And you can substitute tea, you know, black tea, not flavored teas. You can have green tea, I think. I think so. Well, here I put for number 13, the most important thing I love about intermittent fasting, I've already answered that, is it's easy, and it requires no thought. Am I ever hungry? Everybody says, how can you fast? Well, listen, I've said this before. I had 3 colonoscopies this year. 3. In 1 full year, in 12 months, I had 3 colonoscopies. My mother died of colorectal cancer in her early 60s. So just through genetics and some things that flared up, the doctor thought, you know, maybe it could be something. Okay, thank God it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't. So I did have to endure 3 colonoscopies. And so if you've ever had a colonoscopy, you're told the day before, we all know this, you can't eat, right? Or if you're having a procedure, you know, God forbid, in the hospital, it's the same thing. You're asked if you need blood work, right? You have to come in fasted. These are all medical reasons that you have to live a whole day in a fasted state. You do it, right? You do it. You go to work, you pick up the kids at school, you know, you're cleaning the house, you go shopping, whatever it is you do that day before while you're fasting, you do it, because it's mind over matter. You know you have to fast, therefore you do. And around 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, you start to get that headache, you feel a little lightheadedness. Some have some deposited, like, you know, what do you call it, like heartburn and stuff in their stomach and stuff. And so people experience different downfalls of fasting in the beginning. But if the doctor says to you, you have to have a colonoscopy tomorrow, so the day before you have to fast, you do it. And you don't die. You know, God forbid you don't die. I mean, nothing happens to you. You just fast. For those of us that have experienced childbirth, I mean, we've done things that are way harder than fasting, okay? You can do it. You do it for your doctor. Do it for yourself. Just do it for yourself. It's not easy, but it does get easier like anything else. Let me see. Am I hungry? That was the... Okay, so I do have a lot of friends that when they're with me and they eat with me, they're always shocked by how much food I eat, right? And I think that's probably because of my exercise output. You know, I can probably burn 700 or 800 calories in my workout. So, okay, so I can eat more. I drink most of those calories. 2 glasses of wine at night is probably 300 calories. So, whatever, that's where I enjoy my calories. So a funny anecdotal story that I'll end with. Over the weekend, again at my son's party, my husband has a pizza oven that him and our sons built, and it's great. It brings the family together, and we were having a party for my son's 24th birthday. And my son-in-law's brother was here, and he has adopted keto, and it's great. It's great for him because it's caused him to be more disciplined and focused and more mindful. I really think anything that you adopt that causes that mindfulness is great. So I'm not a proponent of intermittent fasting and then poo-poo another form of, you know, lifestyle or dieting. So whatever works for you. This works for me. Maybe it won't work for you. Maybe it will. Keto works for a lot of people. So Eli is a keto purveyor, and when he was over the other day, him and his wife, they're a beautiful couple. I said to him, you know, you continue to look great. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your health too as well. They have a child, and I said, I don't have, you know, like keto friendly pizza dough tonight. And he said, no, it's okay. Like me, he eats whatever he wants on occasion. So I was happy that, you know, he's not so stringent and restricted that he has to eat that way or, you know, or bust, you know, ride or die. So probably in the beginning he was very focused, but occasionally you should be able to enjoy something in someone else's home where you don't have any control over what you're eating. So I see him the next day at my daughter's, and he says to me that, to all of us at the table, that he spent that night in bed up all night because he had heartburn, indigestion, etc., etc. And I found that interesting. First of all, I found it truthful, because not everybody's truthful when we're commiserating about our health or dieting, lifestyle changes. I said to him what I will end this video on, which is, if you really listen to your body, it speaks volumes. And let me say that again. If you listen to your body, it speaks volumes. That's what I said to Eli, because his body has adjusted and has become probably a lot happier with a cleaner diet. I suspect that because he's eating keto, maybe he's eating cleaner, maybe not, I don't know. But he said the minute he goes off keto, his whole body discombobulates. Whatever, headaches, indigestion, heartburn. He said the heartburn was so bad he wasn't sure if he was having a heart attack. I hear this from my son as well on occasion. And he always has to identify what food he ate the day before. And I always say to him, Joe, listen, learn now what I had to learn in my 50s. Learn now in your 20s that we just can't eat everything we want all the time. And if you can identify the food that's causing you problems, just eliminate it. Don't take a pill to solve the problem. I don't understand that. Just avoid the food itself and save your body from that suffering and the stress that it puts on your body when it's rejecting that food. And so my point to Eli was, well, now you know that keto is probably a lifestyle choice for you, not a diet, because he said he felt so much better in keto or in ketosis than he does eating a standard American diet. So, you know, he's much younger than my husband and I, so these are things that if you guys can learn when you're young, it's awesome. You don't have to wait till you're in your 50s to learn them. So in conclusion, I will just say, listen to your body. Just listen to it. And so for those of you that stay tuned, I just want to show you the quick few things I bought this week at the consignment store. You know I like to do that. I don't always invest in exercise clothes because, I don't know, I just wear you know, t-shirts and shorts. You know, I'm not a fashionista. I never put makeup on. My hair is a mess. I leave my hair soaked root to tip. I've said that before. So there's no reason to spend any money for me on workout clothes. Some of that stuff, Lululemon, I mean, it's all beautiful, but where are you going in those clothes? If you're not going to the gym, then I think it's great, but I can never spend that money on it. So I did find this. Isn't this nice? It's beautiful. It has a beautiful, it's a beautiful material, like that weather wicking, what do they call it? Sweat wicking or whatever. This was $16.50. I really liked it because I can only wear a certain material on my body. I don't know, it's just a texture thing for me. There's a lot of materials I can't wear on my body when I'm working out. This happens to be that one material. And so when I do find it, I buy it. It's usually in the better brands, and those brands are like $45. So I was very excited to get that. And it also had the tag on it as well. This was $12.50. It's that same material, and isn't this great? I love this pink. It's like a coral pink. Same style with the hoodie, the drawstring. That same, I don't know, sweat wicking material. $12.50. And I bought these. They're RBX brand. I really don't need them, but because both colors are in here, they weren't sold together. I just got lucky. I think these were $6. Yeah, $6.50, also with the tag, new. It's RBX. You know, how cute is that? And I have one more thing. It came to $32, and I'll tell you why. That's because I am that VIP member, and so I got 25 or 30% off that day. So I was excited. Okay, so these were the shoes I bought. They are a blush pink, and you're thinking, well, where's she going in those, right? These were, okay, $6.25. Okay, plus 25% off. I can't even do the math, it's so little. They have the back zipper. So you're thinking, well, that's not a practical shoe. No, it's not. So I wouldn't spend even $25 or $30 on this. It might be a one and done. I put them on and walked around the store. They were comfortable. And I understand that most women wouldn't buy these. But I bought them for one reason. I bought them because I have my daughter's blush pink blazer. I wore this recently. I don't know how many more times I'll wear it now before spring, because this blush looks nice with white, but I think it's more appropriate in the spring, and so that's okay. It'll go in the closet. Look at how beautiful together. I mean, if I had a pair of white trousers, slacks, you know, like a wide leg slack, and these shoes and this blazer and like a white camisole. I mean, can you picture it, ladies? I mean, absolutely beautiful. Maybe I'll wear these all day and they'll feel like really comfortable. Maybe they won't. So it was like, what, $4.75 investment. I could take a picture of them and put it on Instagram and not ever walk around in them. And I also have this. Oh, I love this. I know you'll love it too. You know, I got this a couple months ago at Only for Her in Ansonia. Okay, I love this. If you could feel it, I mean, it's the best. It's like my granddaughter's teddy bear. I mean, it's the same feel. Same. You know, whether you have a white skirt, you know, gray slacks, you know, something gray, and this has got a little bit more blush tone. It's got a little more mauve to it. Dusty rose is what we used to call it when I was young. You know, so I only bought the shoes because I knew I had a couple pieces in my wardrobe that I could pair it with. And, you know, I think if you had a wedding and you had something spectacular to wear, unless I wore them. You'd have to wear them once before a wedding, because we just don't know how comfortable they are. And I often put in the insoles that I buy at like CVS or Rite Aid, and they take the pressure off the ball of your feet, and they stop you from going forward. I recommend those all the time. They provide a lot more comfort. Okay, so that's it. So I think I spent $30, $32, something like that with all these items. Ladies, shop the consignment stores. Get out there. Go look at some stuff. Take a chance. All right, thank you for watching this very long episode of What's New with Nadine. It's my intermittent fasting question and answer follow-up. I hope I've answered your questions. I love that you're curious. If you have any more questions, direct message me on Instagram. Write a comment down below. Give me a call if you know me. And I will see you soon. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.